Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick video on Tupac Shakur. 27 years after his unaliving, that unfaithful drive-by pow-powing that took his life, they finally arrested someone in a connection with his unaliving. And who is that someone? That someone, his name is Duane Davis, okay? I want to say his nickname, they call him Keefy because his middle name is Keith. Well, listen, they didn't just blindly arrest him. He left a lot of breadcrumbs on his own little part in this situation. I mean, he did an interview saying that he was in the car of the person that did take Tupac's life. He said, "I didn't take his life, but I was in the car in the Cadillac, with the person who perhaps took his life." And he also, blabbed his mouth in his own tell-all memoir. Well, listen, guys, we're going to get more into this story right after this. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and share screen with y'all. Let's get right into this story. It's so sad and it's still so unbelievable that people just have no regards for other, like for human life, so to speak. So, police arrest a man in connection to Tupac Shakur, 1996, unaliving, and this is what we know so far. So, Las Vegas police have arrested a man in a deadly 1996 drive-by pow-powing of Tupac Shakur, a long-awaited break in the case that has frustrated investigators and fascinated the public ever since the hip-hop icon was taken down on the Las Vegas Strip 27 years ago. Duane Keith Davis was arrested early Friday morning, although the exact charge or charges were not immediately clear, according to two officials with first-hand knowledge of the arrest. They were not authorized to speak publicly ahead of an expected indictment later on today. Davis has long been known to investigators and has himself admitted in interviews in his 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend, that he was in the Cadillac where the pow pow erupted during the 1996 drive-by pow-powing where Tupac Shakur was taken down. The arrest comes 2 months after Las Vegas police raided his wife's home July 17th, and they're talking about the suspect's home, right? In neighboring Henderson. Documents said police were looking for items concerning the unaliving of Tupac. Police reported collecting multiple computers, a cell phone, and a hard drive, a Vibe magazine that features Shakur, several bullets, 2 tubs containing photographs, and a copy of Davis' 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend. In the book, Davis said he broke his silence over Tupac's unaliving in 2010 during a closed-door meeting with federal and local authorities. So he's saying they met with him before, so why are they just now picking him up? But let's continue. At the time, he was 46 and facing life in prison on drug charges when he agreed to speak with the authorities. They promised they would shred the indictment and stop the grand jury if he helped them out, he wrote. He described himself as one of the last living witnesses to the unaliving of Tupac, okay? So what actually happened to Tupac, in case you don't remember, he was 25 when he was taken down in a drive-by pow-powing near the Las Vegas Strip on the night of September 7th, 1996. The rapper was in a BMW driven by Death Row Records founder Marion Suge Knight in a convoy of 10 cars. They were waiting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up next to them and, pow pow erupted. Shakur was shot multiple times and he died a week later. In 2018, after a cancer diagnosis, Davis admitted publicly in an interview for a BET show to being inside the Cadillac during the attack. He implicated his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, saying he was one of the two people in the back seat where uh, shots were fired. The pow powing happened shortly after a casino brawl earlier in the evening involving Anderson, Shakir, and others. Anderson denied any involvement in, the pow powing, but yet he ended up being unalived himself 2 years later in a pow powing in Compton, California. So they honored Tupac, later on. I want to say it happened either earlier this year. A Walk of Fame honor. So Tupac Six tearfully accepts late rappers, posthumous Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Shakira's death came as the fourth solo album, All Eyes on Me, remained on the charts with some 5 million copies sold. Nominated 6 times for a Grammy Award, Shakira is largely considered one of the most influential and versatile rappers of all time. He was feuding at the time with rap rival Biggie Smalls, also known as the Notorious B.I.G., who was fatally pow-powed in March 1997. At the time, both rappers were in the middle of an East Coast, West Coast rivalry that primarily defined the hip-hop scene during the 1990s. Okay, who is police detective Greg? Greg is a retired Los Angeles police detective who spent years investigating the Shakir unaliving and wrote a book about it. Said he would not be surprised by Davis' indictment and arrest. So he kind of predicted it. Okay, it's so long overdue. Greg said. The Associated Press during a recent interview, people have been yearning for him to be arrested for a long time. It's never been unsolved in our minds. It's been unprosecuted. Woo! Okay, so Greg said he interviewed Davis in 2008 and 2009 during the Los Angeles police investigations of the killings of Shakir in Las Vegas and the slaying of Biggie Smalls. Greg said also that he talked with the Las Vegas police detective about the case, including after the SWAT raid in July at the home in Henderson. The former Los Angeles police detective said he believed the investigation gained new momentum in recent years following Davis' public descriptions of his role in the unaliving. You big dummy, okay? Including his 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend. In those events that have given Los Angeles the ammunition and the leverage to move forward, Greg said. Prior to Keith D's public declarations, the cases were unprosecutable as they stood. He put himself squarely in the middle of the conspiracy, Greg said of Davis and the Shakir slaying. He had acquired the GUN. He had given the GUN to the person that pow him, and he had been present in the vehicle when they hunted down and located both Tupac and Suge Knight. Okay, so Greg noted that Davis is the last living person among 4 people who were in the vehicle from which pows were released at Shakir and rapper Suge Knight. Others were Davis' nephew Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, Terrence Bubble Brown, and DeAndre Freaky Smith. It is a concerted effort of conspirators. Okay, Greg said, adding that he believed that because the unaliving was premeditated, Davis could face a first-degree unaliving charge. All the other direct conspirators or participants are all no longer alive, Greg said. So Keith D is the last man standing among the individuals that conspired to take Tupac's life. So that is interesting. So all the rest of them are gone, and you are the last one alive, and you yourself single-handedly gave the police what they needed in order to take you down. You talking about big dummy right there. You big dummy. Shut your mouth. But you know what? They said the body always wants to somehow confess and speak the truth. Well, he spoke the truth and he put it in writing, and he did it in interviews. He got no one but to blame but himself. Okay. So as he behind bars and look in the mirror, look at the man in the mirror, Duane Keith. Okay. Look in the mirror, Duane Keith Davis, because you did this to yourself. Now, listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. What are your thoughts on this situation? Long overdue. And now they're telling us this thing was never unsolved, it was just unprosecuted. That's a word for you right there in and of itself. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video.